Let's look at the barrel explosion sprite sheet. Are these frames correct? I don't think they are. They look like they're kind of reversed. Oh, no, they're not. Alright. It's the image index 1 for that first frame, so it's actually looking at this thing for the first frame. Totally fine. Alright. And image index 1 is game 1, so it's working correctly. We got our export, I believe, in a nice readable manner for all these things. This flame didn't show up, but maybe there's just nothing in it. Yeah, I think there's just nothing in that effect. Let's see what it actually put for the flame. There's just 60, 60 frames of empty black space. Awesome. So how many frames? Are any of these frames empty? Doesn't look like it. Looks like interesting. So this thing is actually making more frames than exist. Because these effects are actually rendering like regardless of what's there. Because you see this like continuous effect keeps going. For all these frames. So in order to actually make this work, I would have to, I think, just delete all this, delete keyframes, or something like that. Or just delete it. Let's try re-exporting all the things and see what happens to that energy build if we do this. Because very much could be that just, you know, some basic stuff needs to be changed to clean them up for export. That's all we need to do is just make sure the basics are working. Because once we have a box we can work within, well, then we know where the box is and we can easily work inside of it. I'll just be like, well, make sure there's nothing else on those frames on that display. And then they won't render and then they won't get added. Simple rules. Gotta render all the things. Alright. So this energy buildup now is all the frames still. Why is that? Alright, no, energy buildup is now only 9 frames, so it did work properly. Alright, so let's look at the other ones. See, Spark. It's got all this, and the Spark sheet has 12 frames. Flashes. Let's take a look at flashes. So we got like all the flashes are not in their own display, which is what we figured would be going on here. Let's look at the flashes frames. There's 18 or 19 frames for flashes. That's fine. So we'll take a look at this flame sprite sheet. This flame sprite sheet has 13 frames, which looks reasonable to me. Electric impact, we've got these. And let's look at the frames. There are 11. Dashkin. See how many of these. There are 59 frames for Dashkin. Well, that's fine. Dust Puff. There are 26 frames. Alright, looks fine. Dust Explosion. There are 59 frames for Dust Explosion. Let's take a look at Dust Explosion. Now, why is it saying there's more stuff here in Dust Explosion? It's got this empty frame here that it keeps using. Well, I mean, it's not the hardest thing to do when you're in game, just to go edit those things. What sucks is if we have to do anything else. Like, if we re-import them, it's not super great. So what exactly should we do? This is part of the annoying thing about working with Harmony and things like that, is it's not really very well set up for games. It's like I'd like to have like a stop frame or something else I can set in here on this specific display to say like, hey, end on this frame. Well, we don't really have that. So why don't we just have it so that if you name this thing appropriately, it'll have it. So this would be like dust sprite, like, and then 11 or something like that. So it would be like dust explosion 11. I like how you can't. None of these things actually, like, you can't resize this frickin' drop down, and it doesn't get any bigger. So let's just set it so if you set it at, if the ending thing is a number, it'll automatically detect it and try to only render that many frames. So if we went to our, where is our export? Did we close it? Export effect. Alright, it's just over here. Okay, so let's see. We want to grab everything. So bar ending stir equals render display. So we need the last index of. If ending stir dot last index of underscore is greater than 0, I'll say ending stir equals ending stir dot last index substring, and it's going to be ending stir dot last index of underscore +1. Alright, so we want to say like var num equals if is not a number, is that's an actual thing. If not is not a number, then so end frame. Parse int string. Rendering from 1 to end frame plus 1. So what we should be able to do here is on our export, 591 has an issue. 591 is, yeah, it's got an issue. So this is the FX Dust Explosion 11. If we hit export, it should just export that. What's it doing? Rendering from 1 to 12. It rendered from 1 to 12 and then it rendered everything again. Whoops. Well, let's fix that issue. And let's take a look at our dust explosions. Looks pretty good. And our dust explosion frame data. Alright, well, yeah, it's like, okay, something's wrong here. It's dust explosion 11. And yeah, that only has 11 on it. We're going to want to remove the underscore 11 though from the export name. Yeah, exactly. No more. No more. So let's try that real quick. So dust explosion is here. Again. Let's just get rid of everything and re-export. And that looks like it worked just fine. So we've got our dust explosion sprites. And it goes all the way down. And we should do import slash, it shouldn't be characters, it should be slash effects, I believe. So Do we need to have nice organizational crap? I don't think so. I mean, we could have like the name of the Harmony file be kind of the category of effect. I think I just kind of want. I think this will be fine. Like, we can always shuffle around all this crap later, so it's not a big deal. So let's see, import characters. We want import cancel. And we're going to differentiate this stuff all from the other things. Harmony has these preferences things, and you can get and set things by string name. And we're trying to make sure that we use different string names from the character and export stuff, just to make sure we don't do anything stupid. Alright, so if we re-import everything and go do this, it's gonna put it in the absolute wrong folder. So we should be able to go up to the import folder, and we'll export all the things here. So let's get exporting. Alright, so let's test all this stuff, make sure it's doing what it should. So in our import folder, we now have like X blocks, and then we have all the things. Okay, so we've already got it, so the name of the the name of the Harmony file is the parent, and then we have all these like sub things in there. So that's cool. I like that. And it looks like it's all exporting at the different resolutions now, so we can override this stuff a bit more. Which we shall. Oh man, Adam's doing fantasy illustrations from chat. What is this? This isn't real work. This is playtime. He should be doing real work. Actually, no. He should be relaxing. It's his weekend. But his weekend is when he does all of his work. Alright, so that looks like that worked properly. Cool, so we've got the export. We've got the kind of the categories are just going to be, you know, the name of the Harmony file and, you know, whatever. That's fine with me. So we do an import. We'll look for everything that's got these. So we're getting closer to all the things being useful. Cool. So we've got all that. So I think basically like we can close down Toon Boom. And what we'll be looking for is to actually get the Unreal stuff here set up. So I'm going to take a short break, I think, a couple minutes, and get kind of reset, because we're going to have to go into the editor, because we got this all good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check all that in. So we're good to go there with that. So I'll go ahead and check those in, and that looks all nice and tidy. So we've got the export done. So we need to create an effect importer in Unreal. So a button in the editor to create and update existing effects from the import folder, and output should be a flipper. So we'll be doing that when we get back. So I'll be back online in just a bit after we get that. After I take a couple minutes and get myself reset. Well, I think we'll get back here. I was just popping over to Adam's stream. He's doing stuff that's cooler than mine because, you know, he's got like artistic skills. See, I would suggest my request for his stuff would be that he draws Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal staring down LeBron James for Space Jam 2 on a space station. That would be my request because. All right, so we're gonna need something in the editor. We're gonna need another editor button thing. So let's make sure we got everything built here. And I'm gonna figure out where I've got the code, because I don't remember where I put all this stuff. But I want another importer tool thing. So I want to have it be for effects. Yeah, I figure I'll request it next time or something like that. Because he looks like he's got those werewolves, and then like he needs to go to sleep because the guy's already been strung out this weekend. Right? He's got, it's like 1 in the morning there, or almost midnight or whatever. So he's probably running out of gas. Alright, so we need character importer tool is what we're looking for. So let's see where that is. Alright, so it looks like it's here. We've got this startup for our editor module, and we're adding stuff into there. So let's get started by editing it. So we have this character import tool customization make instance. So where is this tool? We have character importer tool customization. And we've got so we pretty much want to copy this and do all the things here. So let's go do so. It's in tools, it's the character importer tool and character importer tool customization. So we're just going to do these should be the character, the effect importer tool, and this should be the effect importer tool customization. Just make sure they all get added. So we'll have effect import. Effect category import is going to have a list of effect imports. And this will be effect import tool customization. And yeah, we want these checkbox states. Is character checked? We want effect check changed, and is effect checked. Get characters, get effects available for import. This is going to get the effect categories and load anim info, character animation import. This will be load effect info, load category info, get effect, get categories, sorry, get categories. And this should be M categories. And kind of how we're going to have the checkboxes work for your import is going to be import everything in a category. Just because it'll be easier that way. Character import tool, we want the effect import tool. Right, so categories, effect info, and all that stuff on the effect import tools customization constructor, execute effect import, and all our forward declarations should be there. So the effect importer tool should also be here. So we want import categories, and we should have character import tool. It should be the effect import tool customization. So we have the category and the effect. Dashkin animation definition file. Yeah, it is an animation definition file, so we should be okay there. Yeah, let's just make sure it's character, and this is effect. So we're copy pasting a few things, but that should be fine. Thank you for following Hoffman90. We are adding a few things to our editor at the moment. We're adding an effect import button. So in order to do that, we're making a base editor tool, and then we're attaching that to kind of the systems we already have. So we're gonna, in order to import our effect, we're gonna need to create and update some textures, make all the sprites for that texture, based on that texture for the effect, and create a flipbook for the actual effect afterwards. And how our effects look right now is we've got our our effects kind of look like this, where we have our effects, and then we have explosion effects, and then like our actual effects themselves, and then a little JSON file describing them, like where all the sprites are and everything else. And then inside of it we have the sprites, and there can be multiple sprites. Yeah, no idea. It's amazing to watch. All right, well, don't get too excited. C++ coding could be a whole lot of not very fun. So we're gonna have the base category path and the base effect path. So we need the effect importer tool and the effect importer tool customization. So let's start working on these CPPs. So we want the effect importer tool, the effect importer tool customization. We do need the Dashkin game data and property editing. So one of the things that we don't have in Unreal for some of our dialog boxes is like a master checkbox, uncheckbox. Like I think it's usually called a multi-box or something, where multiple things can get selected and you have like a tree of stuff and you can check one box at the top and it'll check and uncheck everything. We don't really have that, so we kind of have to do it ourselves. Alright. So let's just fix our namespaces to begin with for all of our functions, and then we'll go everything from the top down and do all this. So F-Dashkin character import customization tool. We want the effect import. Alright, so we'll start at the top and go down. So our importer tool is not importer tool, it's effect tool. So let's see, we are going to get the objects we're customizing, which is a new character importer tool. It's an effect importer tool that we are customizing. So we're looking for this guy. So the effect tool should be this thing. Internal error with effect import tool, failed to find the exec command. Basically, when we get loaded up with our piece of UI, we're going to try to grab the tool that we're trying to customize. And if the tool we're trying to customize is not the effect importer that we actually think it is, well, let's just make sure we actually named it properly. Yeah, good. So we'll cast it to the right thing, and that'll do all our checks. So edit category, character import. This is going to be effect import. Searching in our import directory, we need categories available for impact. We don't want, not characters, it's categories. And we're going to add an info box. The whole row is just going to contain this info, which is just going to say we're searching in a specific folder for our effect categories. And then in order to customize our UI, you have to have these callbacks for these checkboxes. So we've got to do that. So this is master. We have this checkbox here, which is our master checkbox for all of our categories. And